Hi, now we are going to discuss the basic law in electrostatics, which is called as Coulomb's law in electrostatics. It's a very important law in electrostatics. For this, I have considered two charges which are called as point charges. So, we are going to consider point charges. So, what is the meaning of point charges? When you consider the radius of this charge, okay, it is comparatively smaller than the distance between the two charges. So any two charges whose radius is comparatively much smaller than the distance of separation, they are considered to be point charges. Okay students, now here in this picture you can see the 2 point charges are Q1 Coulomb and Q2 Coulomb, and I have taken both are positive charges. So Q1 is also positive, Q2 is also positive. Are they like charges or unlike charges? They are like charges. So what must be the nature of the force between them? They should repel each other. So you can see that Q2 is experiencing a repulsive force along the positive x direction, and the force experienced by the second charge due to the first charge is denoted by F21, and the force experienced by the first charge due to the second charge is represented by F12. So here onwards you should be very careful with the subscripts. There are two subscripts. Okay. So what do you mean by F21? It is the force acting on the second charge due to the first charge. Similarly, what do you mean by F12? It is the force experienced by the first charge due to the second charge. So in vector form I have expressed. Now I will take the force acting on the second charge due to the first charge only by magnitude. Okay, leaving the direction, only how much magnitude I want to find out. So I find that according to Coulomb's law of electrostatics, this force acting on the second charge due to the first charge is found to be proportional to the product of Q1 and Q2. So the statement of Coulomb's law, first point is the force between any 2 point charges is directly proportional to the product of the strength of the charges or magnitudes of the charges, and this also is found to be inversely proportional to the distance r of separation between the two charges. So it is proportional to 1 by r square. So these are the two very fundamental points to be remembered in the statement of Coulomb's law. So Coulomb's law in electrostatics states that the force of attraction or repulsion between 2 point charges is directly proportional to the product of the magnitudes of the charges and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between the two charges. So this is combining, I can write F21 is proportional to Q1 into Q2 divided by R square, or it is equal to a constant of proportionality K into Q1 Q2 divided by R square. And in vector form I am going to write this now. So far I have written in scalar form only. In vector form it is written as F21 vector is equal to K into Q1 into Q2 divided by R square into R cap. It is a unit vector. Now this direction you can see that the unit vector from Q1 to Q2 is represented by R12 cap. So that this is R12 cap. So F21 vector is along the positive x-axis. Similarly, R cap 12 is also acting along the positive x direction. Similarly, if you take F12 vector, it is in the negative x direction. So along this direction, another unit vector R21 cap. So this R12 cap is the unit vector along the direction of F21. So this is Coulomb's law in vector form. Okay. So here the value of K in vacuum or free space, the value of K is found to be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, where epsilon naught is called as permittivity of free space. So this is called permittivity of a free space. So that K is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, and the value of epsilon naught is equal to 8.85 into 10 to the power of minus 12, and this is a Coulomb square per Newton meter square. These are all important information. The units you will have to remember always. So epsilon naught is called as permittivity of free space. So the free space, by how much it will permit the flow of electric field lines. In future topics you are going to study thoroughly. So now you must know at least the name. So what is epsilon naught means? It is called as permittivity of free space, and it is denoted by the symbol epsilon naught, and its value is 8.85 into 10 power minus 12. Unit is Coulomb square per Newton meter square. And if you substitute the value here, you will get, therefore K is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. This is equal to 9 into 10 to the power of 9. This value is a standard value you have to remember always while solving the numerical problems. And this must have the unit of what? Newton meter square per Coulomb square. It is a reciprocal of epsilon naught, is it not? Therefore, when epsilon naught is having a unit of Coulomb square per Newton meter square, this 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught or K must have a unit of Newton meter square per Coulomb square. So I am going to substitute this K equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught in the expression for F21. Therefore, F21 vector is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q1 Q2 divided by R square into R cap 1 2. This is in vector form. Similarly, I can also write F12 vector is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q1 Q2 by R square into R cap 2 1. Is it not? So F21 vector, here R cap 1 2 vector. Where F12 vector is there is R cap 2 1 vector. Now you see here this also equal to, I will write this as a 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q1 into Q2 by R square. Now you look at this R21 cap is opposite to that of R12 cap. These two unit vectors are oppositely directed. So instead of R21 cap, I can also write this is minus of R cap 1 2. Is it not? R cap 2 1 is nothing but a negative of R cap 1 2, is it not? So I can write this now. This minus sign is taken out. So this is minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q1 Q2 by R square into R cap 1 2. Now already we have written K into Q1 Q2 by R square into R cap 1 2 is equal to what? F21. So this is now equal to minus of F21 vector. We started with F12 vector and we have completed with a negative of F21 vector. So we can write therefore F21 vector is equal to minus of F12 vector. Okay. So this is nothing but Newton's third law only. Is it not? This is one of the concepts based on Newton's third law. So my dear students, you will have to remember that when two charges are kept along the distance r, they experience a mutual force, irrespective of the values of Q1 and Q2, the force between them will be the same, which means that the force exerted by the first charge on the second charge and the force exerted by the second charge on the first charge, both are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. So, what is the statement of Coulomb's law in electrostatics? The force of attraction or repulsion between any two point charges is directly proportional to the product of the charges and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Okay, so far we have discussed only by placing the two charges in vacuum or free space. Now we are going to discuss what will happen if the same two charges are placed in water or in oil or in any other medium other than vacuum or free space or air. That will be the next topic.